Manchester City are top of the pack after a 2-0 win over Everton at the Etihad. And we can hear from the City midfielder, Phil Foden.
Phil, congratulations. Another big victory, which puts you at the top of the table for now. We'll get on to the 2 goals in a minute, but what was it like to play in that game today?
Well, it's difficult. I think the first half we weren't really at it. We weren't playing forward as quick as we could do. We took too long on the ball and we couldn't find the space in between the lines. And the manager spoke about it at half-time, and I thought in the second half was much more meaningful going forward, breaking lines, and yeah, we had a lot of chances, we created a lot, and overall I think we can be happy with the performance.
Looking at that first goal from Erling Haaland, it was just before the hour mark. In terms of the timing of the goal, how important was that?
Very important. We know he's got that quality to always time his runs to perfection and always be in the right position. We know that if they kind of mark him out the game, he's still capable of scoring. He doesn't lose concentration, and he only needs one chance to score. And he remained very patient. There weren't a lot of space for him today, but as you can see, he's always there for us at the right times, and this is a sign of a world-class striker.
He is a world-class striker, but of course a world-class striker needs players around them, of course, to create those opportunities. You were very influential in the game today as well. How did you feel? Yeah,
I think I'm improving my relationship with Erling. I think I played a lot of good passes in behind today. Maybe he could have finished a few, but every time I pass it, he seems to miss, unfortunately. But no, I think we're definitely building that relationship. I'm finding him more in behind and where he needs the ball to score goals. So yeah, something I've been working on.
Thank you very much for your time. Well done today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
There we go. Those are the thoughts of Phil Foden, Shay Given and Gary Cahill in the studio with me. Erling Haaland, boys, was absolutely raging in that first half. You could see the frustration steaming out of his ears. He soon had a smile on his second half on his face in the second half, Gary, didn't he, with that goal?
Yeah, he sure did. We saw his reaction in the first half. I said his body language was a bit angry. He was disappointed with the way it was going. But this is great movement here. If you look at it, from Doku comes inside, great ball from Phil, and O'Reilly just stands it up. It's a great header. It's bread and butter for Haaland. You see it here. Watch his movement, Doku. Just comes inside, which opens up the space for O'Reilly. He's pointing where he wants the ball, and with the likes of Phil Foden, with the quality that he possesses, produces it inch perfect. And like I said before, this is a great stand-up. It's interesting with Haaland's movement. He goes to obviously attack the space and then just steps back 2 steps, which gives him that space, frees him up from the defender. And like I said, that's bread and butter finishing for a man like him.
And that was his first touch in the second half, Shay. Less than 5 minutes later, his second touch in the second half, this.
You don't need to touch the ball often as long as each touch hits the back of the net. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, he's as Phil said in his interview, he's world class. He's got some great players around him, don't get me wrong. But if you want someone to finish the ball at the end of him, this is brilliant from Savinho. But in the replay, I really want you to watch his movement here as a centre forward. Just watch Haaland. I know Savinho keeps his width. Watch when he's about to cut it back. Look, he puts the brakes on. He takes 2 steps back away from the traffic, and he slots it home. This is a brilliant striker. This is a striker in form, as you said before. 23 goals this season, and we're mid-October. The numbers, the stats is just phenomenal. This is a machine, a goal machine.
Must do better when we look at Erling Haaland's goals and who he scored them against this season for club and country. I mean, they are crazy numbers, Gary, aren't they? 23 in 13 games. God knows how many touches, probably not many, to score those 23. But it's not even November, and we're talking about those sort of figures.
Yeah, it's a scary record, isn't it? He's breaking all sorts of records at the moment. And it's funny because you hear people talk a lot about his build-up play. You hear people talk a lot about how many touches he had. I think it was mentioned even in commentary in the first half. But like Shay said, the only touches that matter are the ones that hit the back of the net. And he's a goal machine. Does it week after week, and his numbers are frightening.
So come on, Shay, where are Manchester City in the title picture? Because no one was mentioning them a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. It was all between Liverpool and Arsenal, and Pep would probably secretly quite like that, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, Liverpool have stuttered a bit, haven't they? They've dropped off a little bit, had a poor week, but no one's talking about Man City at all. Now they're sitting top of the league. You have to talk about them when they're sitting top of the league. But I still think from the outside, Arsenal, it feels that it's their title this year to win. They've got such a great squad. I mean, we spoke before about Rodri not being fully fit yet. There's still a few links in that Man City squad, and team is not firing on all cylinders yet. But I'd like to see Phil Foden as well back to his best. Last season he seemed to dip, but he seems to be back up again. So if he can have a great season, you never know.
And the bench look very strong today as well. You know, the depth is coming, people are getting fit, so they look very strong.
And finally, just on City and their season so far, you think, They lost those 2 back-to-back games in August. Since then, 8 games unbeaten. The only games they haven't won in those 8 games unbeaten, because there were 6 wins, the draw against Arsenal and the draw against Monaco in the Champions League. 2 games that they should have won, Shay.
Yeah. Well, they definitely should have won in the Champions League. The Arsenal game, Arsenal fans would maybe disagree with you, because Arsenal were pushing hard second half. They just couldn't hold on. Arsenal kept knocking on the door, scored a late goal. But again, they're very much in the titles, that's for sure. Pep Guardiola's remit is to win the league, and they'll be close come the end of the season.
Yeah, right. So the top of the table, guys, looks like this. It can change, can't it, over the next couple of hours, but Manchester City on top, on goal difference. In fact, not even on goal difference, it's on goals scored, isn't it? Because both plus 11 with Arsenal, but Liverpool and Bournemouth making up those Champions League places. We've seen 18 goals so far. There could be more to come at Craven Cottage. What a day it has been. I mean, do you remember Ange Postecoglou getting sacked a few hours ago?
It feels like 3 weeks ago, doesn't it?